Okay. First of all, thank to the organizer for this opportunity to share with you the importance of girl education and family planning to security and development in the Sahel region. I did this presentation with the support of Samiratu Ouagadougou, a woman researcher in Burkina Faso, and got some slides from Risha Sinkota from the Stimson Center. Next slide. After an overview of the Sahel region, I will present the dynamic of Sahel population. And in this dynamic, I will explain all the indicators on demographic health and education, showing why this indicator explain the insecurity and poverty in this region. And this will send us to the situation where I will explain why investing in health and education will allow us to maximize human capital development, and present before conclusion a project in Sahel region capitalizing all this idea of investment in health and education for young women and young adults. Next slide. The Sahel region, for those who don't know, the place is between Senegal and Somalia. But in this presentation, I will focus on the 5 countries of the G5 Sahel: Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Chad, and Burkina Faso, where the total population amount for the Sahel total population region, with the country highlighted in this slide, reach 150 million people, and 3 in 4 are younger, below 35 years. Next slide. If you see only the Sahel 5 region, the dynamic of the population is very high. From here to 2050, from 85 million population will reach 200 million population. And how you can imagine, the economic growth did not follow this demographic growth. And you can imagine all the impact in terms of poverty. Next slide. This population dynamic is explained by the high rate of fertility in the region. If you see this figure, you can see all the 5 countries in Sahel region are among the high rate of total fertility, between 4 and 8. And Niger is performing the worst with close to 7. And you can see all this country is clearly outside of the demographic window, where you can see it is between the median age of population 25 to 45. Next slide. All the country in the Sahel region are like Mali. And if you compare Mali to Tunisia, France, and Germany, you can see that the age structural population of the population is totally different. And this is the usual figure of country where demographic dividends is not rich. Next slide. all the country in the focus region of Sahel, Senegal, Mauritania, Mali, Burkina, and northern of Nigeria are like the Mali figure, where the population is very, very, very young. This is why the base of the figure is very large. Next slide. Why is this situation? Because of this indicator. You can see in your left side, in sub-Saharan Africa, women using modern contraception are around 25%. But in focus country in Sahel region, you can see, for example, in Mauritania and Chad, where the utilization of modern contraception is very, very, very low. The total fertility is also very high, when in Africa is below 5, in Sahel region is above 5 for all the country except Mauritania. The girl primary education completion rate is also very low. You can see the Chad figure compared to sub-Saharan Africa, where it is above 67% in all Sahel region, except Mauritania is very, very low. The secondary school completion is also very low, exemplified by the Chad, where it's only 10%, compared to other countries in Africa, where it is around 42%. With this indicator, next slide, please, we can explain why these countries are in political stability, in instability. You can see the score very low in all 5 countries of Sahel region in this part, and the other experiencing demographic dividend are above the political stability score, positive. In Sahel region, we are very poor, and you can explain, you can understand now why you are in this situation. It is based on our population age structure. Next slide. Based on all these indicators, researchers put the hypothesis that investing in education and health will help country to maximize the human capital development. And this only education and health can interact with effort in youth policy, gender policy, culture and sport to improve the workforce issue, and this can help stabilize country and reduce insecurity and crime. Next slide. Improving girl education and access to family planning will also contribute to United Nations integrated strategy for the Sahel, where the focus will be to contribute to resilience. Next slide. Education contributes to resilience by improving women empowerment and gender equality, by delaying marriage and childbirth, in lowering fertility rate, and improving other sexual and reproductive health and rights. And resilience also contributes to quality service delivery in all for economic growth. Next slide. Improving health is facilitated by education setting, where we can use this setting to improve vaccination, for example, for tetanus or HPV, papillomavirus, to improve oral health, to improve deworming, to improve schools, meals, and school feeding by fortifying it with micronutrient. Next slide. All these interventions are very, all this intervention will have a high return on investment. For example, the higher lifetime earning is improved for women with only 1 year of schooling above the normal situation can increase by 15% the earning of women. We also see the healthier family above those where education is very high. We see also increased productivity and growth when among the family we have girls educated at some stage in school. And we have also the situation where peace and stability are improved, where we have girl education at a high level. And remember the figure I present on stability score of country. Next slide. It is the same figure for family planning. Investing in family planning for girls reduce unintended pregnancy by 70%, decrease maternal death by 20%, and this provides also possibility for educational and employment opportunity to all people. Next slide. Next slide. This intervention in family planning, sorry, next slide. Back. Again, yes. The investment in, there is a problem of instability. I finish with this slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Investing in family planning also have a high return on investment, and we can see it improve health by reducing maternal mortality. It permits higher education attainment for adolescents and reduce adolescent pregnancy. And we can see $1 spent on meeting contraceptive care need lead to $3 saving in pregnancy-related care and other. For example, assessing family planning track with higher female labor force participation and earning. And slowing population growth, lower overall resource use to adapt Sahel region to climate change. Next slide. And based on all these useful intervention in Sahel G5 region, World Bank support the Sahel Women Empowerment and Demographic Dividend Project that permit to improve education, access to family planning, and awareness on reproductive, maternal, and child health for millions of young people, including young girls. This is the way to pursue demographic dividend in Sahel region. Next slide. So investment in education and family planning will permit Sahel region to have fewer people, more education and employment opportunity, and all summit to greater economic prosperity and less conflict. And to reach this result, we need to invest 1.3 billion US dollar to contribute clearly to close the family planning and education gap in all G5 countries. Next slide. Those are some reference. And finally, next slide. Thank you for your listening. And I'm here to address questions if any. Thank you very much.